Welcome to self-discoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life, right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Well, as summer ends, as the last warm rays of summer start to mellow, they cast long shadows, hurtling along the approach of autumn. It's always been a bit melancholy when summer draws to an end, but fall, with its rustic hues and crisp air, brings its own sense of purpose. It reminds me of turning pages in a book, which is apt because I'm about to dive deep into two significant writing projects. The first is deeply personal, my life's reflections, penning down a lifetime of experience and choices and moments of joy and sorrow is no small feat. It requires introspection, vulnerability, and sheer honesty. I needed to encapsulate all of that and what I felt and seen and done. And while it's daunting, it's also very therapeutic, allowing me to see patterns and learnings and maybe even offer others some insight from my journey. That book is in its last stages, just needs final editing, and then it will be out. Then there's the Forgotten Children anthology. This is not merely a project, it embodies a movement. It's a collection of tales from individuals who have actively worked with children, shedding light on the pressing need to transform the surroundings we nurture our children in. Each chapter is a testament, a voice, a story, an appeal, even an anthem of hope. These narratives highlight the inherent flaws in our system, emphasize actionable ways to reform them, ensure the well-being of both parents and children. By strengthening their bonds and fortifying their spirits, we can hope for a brighter future. Having Crystal Hill Publishing on board for the editing instills a sense of calm within me. I can hand off the chapters to her. She can do that work while I am rallying the next stage of it, videos, webinars, etc. Their esteemed reputation and meticulous approach guarantee that every tale will be treated with the utmost respect and refinement. Yet, the road is long ahead. There's a challenging of raising funds, as we're raising funds on Kickstarter to pay for this, as money goes back from the sale of this book, goes back to the authors and the organizations they support. So streamlining the coordination and overseeing the production, the click is talking, and with only 4 weeks at my disposal before I go away, I've got to get all these chapters in over to Crystal and raise that money to produce it. The urgency isn't about the change in season, it's also personal. The UK is calling me back. Family ties, near-death experience, and aging siblings. They need to see them as strong, as it's been 4 years since. The pandemic has been a formidable barrier keeping me oceans apart from my loved ones. This upcoming trip is about reconnection, healing, and maybe even finding some semblance of direction in the future at hand. But before I do that, the task at hand loom large. The next 4 weeks are going to be intense, filled with late night writings, brainstorming, possibly copious amounts of coffee. But there's the intense excitement too about it all coming together. The kind you feel when you're on the brink of something profound. And as the leaves turn golden, which they're doing prematurely right now due to drought, fall begins to show itself. I'm reminded of the impermanence of it all and the importance of making every moment count. And so this next chapter begins. Even though we're here right now, still in August, it is about getting ready for the fall. Holidays are winding down. Projections for what we need to do in the fall is showing itself. And we're at that stage where it is, what is this next chapter? Well, I know what my chapters are, the 2 books, the fundraising, and of course, in amongst that, all the shows that I do. So there's not going to be much fun in the next few weeks. It's all about work and getting as much done as I can. And the moment that Kickstarter is out and up, I am out there sharing it with everyone and getting everybody right there to to help support it, because these people are giving their time and their expertise. And the whole thing about this book is to raise money for the organizations that are already in play and doing wonderful work for families and for children. So it's about not charging them. It's about us coming together to fund this project so that they can raise money for their organization and bring about that awareness that's needed for our children. Of course, this is the first in the series, isn't it? I have done back in 2017, I did an ebook with collaboratives that will be turned into a paperback at some point. But, along with this comes webinars and each person being interviewed separately and a whole load of stuff coming out. So it's all out there. But the next book after that will be a paid book by the participants, and it will be on our coaches, business coaches, and all that they're offering you. After that, our forgotten seniors, and after that, our health coaches. I hope to bring 2 books to you a year, in a month, bringing all these wonderful podcast guests and mentors, people that sign up for the mentorship program. So yeah, I'm wearing all those hats again, and I know that sometimes it gets a bit wobbly and it can be a little overwhelming. But whatever we take on, at first it looks like so much. And one thing I've learned to do is take off the hats that I don't need to wear at that moment. Just put on the hats, even if they don't fit very well, and wear that hat for that situation. Concentrate on this, focus on this. Then you can go to another hat. And in some cases, you wear 2 or 3 hats. Because you've got this and those hats work together. But it's compartmentalizing and making sure we focus on one thing at a time, because when we look at it all at once, it's overwhelming. The interesting thing, Richard Branson will only do 3 projects at a time and will not take anything on, no matter what money you throw at him, if those 3 projects are taking up his time. When those projects are left over, then he will consider doing speaking gigs and all of that. But it is about 3 projects at a time, so you can focus on them and really bring to fruition. And we look at the success of him and you think, well, that has to be some good system there. So I do have 3, my book, the other book, the fundraising for that book, which is part of it, and of course my podcasting. So yes, a lot going on, but I'm going to focus on each one of them and get as much done as I can. In the UK, I can actually finish editing my book with my brother, who's a professional author and a literary master's teacher. So we'll get that done there. Meantime, Forgotten Children series and getting that funding out there. People ask why I'm doing it, because I know that when we come together collectively, we are the change we seek. People ask why I'm not charging these people, because it is a fundraiser, and I'd like everybody to be a part of it, to raise funds for the organizations that are already doing the work. And these people are the representation of those organizations. And it's all about our children, because folks, I've done this for 11 and a half years. So many people with the inner child that got left behind, that was not listened to, that was abused, was neglected, was told they're not worth anything unless they are an A student or they're this or they're that. And we don't see the beauty of our children in the gift that they are and follow where they want to go, or even carve a path out for them to take within the realm that they're in. We're there to support them. We're the custodians, we're their guardians, we're their guiders, their teachers, but we're not their dictators. And we should not be telling them where to go. We should be showing them where they want to go and supporting that and giving them the right tools and skills they need for that journey. And that goes for all of us, folks. Every single one of us needs that kind of path. And when do we take that path? This is my journey. And this is my journey, folks, with everything I'm doing, my book, the Forgotten Children book, the podcasting. This is my path. This is what I'm meant to do. This is what I love to do. This is Sarah, right all over the place. But I had to get here going through a journey of self-discovery to discover what are my talents, what are my gifts, what are my abilities, what can I do to make a difference, and step into each one of them, blind, deaf, and dumb, in order to see, hear, and feel. I've taken that journey and I'm here and I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly learning. I am constantly evolving. And that's what makes life exciting, not becoming stagnant or complacent, but being willing to grow and go on these wonderful adventures, because that's what makes life so wonderful. So folks, I am at it, and here we go, full throttle. And I will be sharing that Kickstarter funding as soon as I've got all the information in from my authors. It is still summertime and they are still kind of rather scattered, but it's going to be up there very, very soon. And I hope that you support it, because your support is very important. Whatever you wish to support, $5, $50, $500, it's up to you. But it is about raising the money to produce this book that is an insight, education, and compassion for you in raising our children, and also in the support of the organizations that are already doing such wonderful work. So let's get behind them, okay? Well, folks, have a great week, and until next time, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.